This is no game, man. Continue.
If they shall fall away,
If they shall fall away. Continue.
to renew them again unto repentance.
See, it's too late now. You can't renew yourself to repentance after you did what you did. Continue.
Seeing they crucify to themselves the Son of the Most High Power afresh.
See what he did? You have just crucified Yahushua all over again. You have put him back up on the cross again. Go ahead.
Said, Son of the Most High afresh, and put him to an open shame.
See what you did? And you put him to an open shame. So if you put the Son of the Most High to an open shame, he's going to put you to an open shame. And that's what he's doing right now. Talking about, I'm not part of the Hebrew Israelite movement. And no, this ain't no movement, Negro. Dog. You dog? This ain't no movement. You made it a movement. Yes, La Brian.
Let's go to read this. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
That's right. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High. Man, you people don't understand. You don't know, man. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High. The Most High will take your spirit, he will take you out there and got you in limbo. Got you believing every damn thing now. And a lot of times people do that, they end up being what? I don't believe there's a God. I don't know if there's a God. You become atheist. You start believing science. Science. Technology. I've seen it over and over for almost the last 40 years. I've seen it with brothers. No, brother, I ain't gonna leave the truth. Yeah, when you leave the truth, when you leave this, brother, I'm not talking if you leave a school or camp, when you leave this truth, you understand? You go off into a whole different world, brother. You start talking a lot of S-H-I-T. Okay, the demons have captivated you. The demons have gotten you. And the scriptures tell you, they give you a reprobate mind and 7 more demons, more powerful than what you had before, will take hold of you. Don't play with the Most High, man. Don't play with the Most High. Talking about a spook God. You're going to pay for that too. You're talking about a spook God. Okay? The Most High said, Mike, yeah.
We being bamboozled.
Yeah, we being bamboozled. Yeah. Yeah. You bamboozle the people. You bamboozle them so you could get money. Talk about you fresh. Look at my fresh studs. That's of the world, dog. I call you a dog because you are a dog. And you know what? You know what I see too? This probably comes from you damn half-breeds. You half-breed that got these white parents. You friggin' half-breed. That shit comes from when you got white mothers and white fathers. I'm gonna say it. I'm seeing it all the time. That's the problem. When you got these damn white mothers and white fathers. That's the problem, you friggin' half-breed mongrel. You damn hybrid. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. Okay? That's the problem when you got a white mother or you got a white father. And that's where the problem comes in. And the Most High going to weed you out and sift you out. The Most High said all the tears he's going to sift out. Damn friggin' half-breed mongrel. That's the problem. And I had a bunch of people following behind of you. Causing a mess in Israel. That's it. I'm finished with this subject. Let me jump to my subject. I had to jump on that. I had to say something about this.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you other elders and brethren, you fellow believers of this truth. Shalom to you, few sisters. Shalom to the elect. So I want to try to make this short. This video is Elder Banyamyan of Old One West. So in this video, you know, I used to watch him before coming in Great Millstone. He's the one of the heads of the HODC, if I'm not mistaken. So, have respect for him, but there's no respect of persons, right? So at the end of the day, this man is going off in what he said about Grla Hebrew. He's right though, but yet he's still wrong, when it comes to his lineage. Okay. He called him a half-breed, and he's certain things he's saying. Like I said, I'll get on Grla Hebrew on the things he did, the disrespect he had. That's just him. You can't get but so angry about it. But at the same time, we must be clear on what we teach and what we believe. Because you don't want that type of message to get out. Your mama's white, well, she still could be an Israelite, and so I don't care about the truth. When there's instances in the Bible where, let me get Numbers real quick, Numbers 12 real quick, Numbers 12:1, and Miriam, Aaron spake against Moses, right? Now, Aaron was the older brother of Moses because of the Ethiopian woman who he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman, right? So mainly Miriam was running her mouth about it. Long story short, when you go on down, the Lord cursed her, made her white, right? The 10th verse, and a cloud departed, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And this is what it says. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, right? Because this also proves that the Lord can switch and do whatever he wants to do. Now, Moses would more likely be the leader of Aaron, but no, the Lord chose Moses. Although the Lord showed favor to Aaron in some cases, like going into Egypt, because Moses couldn't speak the language well. So this is what Moses said to Aaron said to Moses, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon thee. Remember the spiritualness the Lord gave Moses when he put his hand in his dip, so to speak, in his bosom, and he pulled it out white. That was spiritual power, right? So again, we say, of course, the Lord did it, but hey, at the end of the day, the Lord uses men to do what he do. He may have touched Miriam or smacked her ass, and she turned white. She turned white as snow. So anyway, so this is, now Moses had a son named Gershom. And Gershom, the name Gershom means stranger. I've been a stranger in a strange land. So you would ask yourself, is Gershom a half-breed? Because race is not strictly color, but nationality, right? So I think Elder Banyamyan was just a little emotional and he lost his way of thinking. I'm sure he doesn't think that, but maybe he does. So anyway, so yeah, the Midianite woman, Moses, I believe he had 2 sons. Scholars have, some different interpretations on certain things, but yeah, I mean, with Midian, Zipporah, I mean, that's what it was. I mean, you go back to Ruth, the Moabite, with Boaz. And a lot of people say, oh, she was an Israelite. No, she wasn't. When you read the story in Ruth, I believe the 4th chapter, when Naomi took the child and carried it. So that means that she was just playing the surrogacy, a surrogate mother. You know what I'm saying? She was just a breeder for Boaz. And that was all right. There's times when men, Israelite men, had heathens and had children with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's what it is. So it's not a bigger difference just because it was an Edomite. I mean, we know they're the worst of the heathens, but it's still heathens. And really, the scriptures speak of, in Galatians 6, every man prove his own work. That man is still an Israelite. He's not a half-breed. Eleazar, Sakari, he's still an Israelite. He just an off Israelite. He didn't went off. Right? How many of these Israelites done bugged out with so-called same nationality of parents? That done dropped out of Old One West, that done bugged out, went into all kind of different philosophies, that had legitimate Israelite father and mother parents all the time. So you can't make this as an excuse because it's the guerrilla Hebrew. You know, your emotions get out of control. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Right? It goes on to say, be not hasty, and this is why we read this. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, meaning not just angry, right? Because we're going to read on. Just the fact that you become like different to the world. The more you see, this is Ezekiel 9:4. The men who sigh and cry for the abominations become mad, mentally deranged to a degree, according to the world. Right? Let's go to 7 and 9. Be not hasty in the spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Now we all get, turned up. I understand that. But when you get turned up, and really, what should have happened with Elder Banyamyan when he did that Masharala thing or whatever they had going on, Yasharala thing, and what's the other one? The head of that, and all that stuff went on with that party, the strip clubs, and I know Elder, I can't remember his name. The elder there as well got on him about the wickedness in the strip club, and then Sakari came back and was very disrespectful to them as elders as well. And in my mind, I was like, well, damn, he left GMS and he was disrespectful to Elder Apostle Tahar and down, right? And then you don't think that he would be disrespectful to other elders. So he kind of moved like Fopi. They just jumped in, jumped out, got a little here, got a little there, got a following, got some money. Elder Barak, that's who I wanted to say, Elder Barak, which is also a good teacher. Elder Banyamyan, I would say, is a good teacher as well. I'm not saying these elder men aren't good teachers. They just go off. I believe they believe in the mark of the beast, the chip. They don't really teach that like Great Millstone teaches. You know what I'm saying? So, those are flaws. But to say that, we can't put that energy out there. That just because that man had a white mother, that he's never really been in the truth, and he's a tear and all that. Nah, if he had an Edomite father, and then that's even where you draw the line with that. If if his father looks black, right, but is actually an Edomite, then he's a tear. It's what it is. Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed as a man of understanding. I think all of us is guilty of this. You get turned up, and you say things that you don't normally want to say. You say things out of pocket. That's called not being in control of your spirit. And the whole time Elder Banyamyan, he knew this man had a white mother. Nobody cared, just as long as he was in the spirit. But when this man, Guerrilla Hebrew, said some things about the truth and got offended, well, that's going to happen, as 1 Corinthians the 4th chapter say. We got to suffer that. We got to deal with it. This man, Eleazar, is a reprobate. He didn't stand the test. Whether he's the elect or not, I can't say. I really can't say. More than likely, no. When you turn your back from the plow, you're not of the elect. You're just not of the elect. It's all right, because many are called, but few are chosen. It's just what it is. I just wanted to bring that out, right? Let me go here. Ecclesiastes 10 and 12. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool consume him. The beginning of his talk is folly, and the end of his speech is evil, which will say mischievous and madness. Yet the fool multiplies words. No one knows what is coming, and who can tell him what will come after him? What will come after him? So, I didn't expect him to say all that. That's, I don't know if this is a teaching that HODC is teaching now, that if you got a black father, a so-called black Israelite father, and a white mother, you're a half-breed, I don't know if that's what they teaching. I doubt it, because he was all up in the hookup. But he said he's seen this, and it's probably true because of the different cultures. Where, Jake, they love their mamas. All Jake gonna love their mamas to some degree, even if it is an Edomite, But what do you got to do? You got to still follow the law. Whether she Edomite or not, that's still your mother. Until the Lord pronounced judgment on her as an Edomite. Eleazar admitted that his mother's an Edomite, right? And really, it's a spiritual thing. If that's what he believes, I've never met her. I've never spoken with her. He knows that just because you're white doesn't mean you're an Edomite. And I don't even understand why he even brought that out in the first place. Just so you can bring more confusion. So you can get on the panel and say, hey, my mama's going into slavery. She's an Edomite. You got to be pretty strong to come into truth and be able to accept that. But then it's also, a situation where it's an act. Now we see it was all fraudulent. So that's pretty much it. I think Elder Banyamyan, he got past his past himself. He got past, his natural way of thinking and understanding because of all these things this man said. And you become angry. And then you become angry, you start saying crazy things. Unless I'm all wrong in everything I just said today, and that's what he really believes, that these all half-breeds, they have a thing called pedigree. Let's go to Numbers 1 real quick, and I'll end it on this. Numbers 1 and 14. I'm the 1 and 18. I'm not the one that just enjoy getting on Eleazar. Hey, I'm gonna just get on him. Views to get on him and whatever. I mean, if he's right, he's right. If he's wrong, he's wrong. But I say right here, Elder Banyamyan, he's kind of wrong on this one. It had nothing to do with him having a white mother. It had everything to do with him just being an Israelite, and as long as he understood, then that's what it is. But I get it that pride of Edom may have been on him to make him act that way. But at the end of the day, all these allegations that came up on him is all from the experiences of like Edom, but it's in all the communities, believe it or not. But we know it's prevalent in the Edomite society and in his father and what he was going through. So it looks like Eleazar has been, he's been ran through the mud. He done had a messed up, seems like a messed up lifestyle. He had some serious situations may have happened to him when he was younger, dealing with his parents. But this is what the truth in the brotherhood is supposed to be for. The problem with Chief Priest Eleazar, his pride. He should have stayed where he was, grew in the truth, right? And had leaders over him to help guide him. And they don't. And this is what happened to all these groups. Numbers 1 and 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men, which were expressed in their names, and they assembled all the congregation together in the first day of the second month. And all these know this. I'm just reading this for edification. And they declared their pedigrees after their families, which goes to fathers or patriarch, right? by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers and the names, right, of their names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. And as the Lord commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have on that. Shalom.